Welcome back, y'all. So it's going to be a 500 round post 500 round review of Sig 228 P228. Just kidding, not this one. This is the one I'm not going to shoot hardly at all. I've just got it for demonstration purposes to prove a point. Actually carrying the other one. So empty. Good. I don't need to show you y'all because what does it matter? So I've done a few things to this gun since I got it. It did have, like when I unboxed it a while back, it did have the Sig action job and an SRT installed, but I wasn't really a fan of the short trigger that was in it, so I went ahead and got a Gray Guns double adjustable curve trigger. While I was at it, I went ahead and got their fat strut with a 19-pound hammer spring, and went ahead and got their SRT kit, and I put the SRT kit that was in this one in another 226 I have that didn't have one. What else? Put an E2 grip on it and the 224/Legion slide release. Reason why for the grip, well, so the first couple hundred rounds I shot out of this, I went to the range, and with my grip on these, let me try to explain this. I typically, to avoid holding on the slide release, I will wrap my when I grip the gun, I will put my thumb outside of, or rest it on my this part of my sport thumb, just keep it away from the slide release. Well, if you look at the way the grip is contoured, right here, there's a sharp edge on Sig grips, these plastic ones like this. And for some reason, and this has been for me with 229s and these 228s, it's just always been that way. It's something to do with the way it doesn't. 226s don't bother me, but I guess it's something to do with because it's short, and when I grip the gun, the magazine base plate is pressing my hand up some more and whatnot. But this corner, for some reason, it didn't rub it raw, but this knuckle here on my right thumb, it was really kind of almost bruised and sore. In fact, to where it hurt to move it around for a couple days, which I was like, that sucks, you know, because these are some of the most pointable and shootable handguns. But so anyway, I was like, well, let me try the E2 grip. I don't like it on the 226s. I just don't. I don't know why. Theoretically, it should be the same, but it's not to me. I prefer this grip, this style grip on the 226s. I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. So put that on there, and it made all the difference in the world because this corner is not a corner anymore. It's rounded smooth. And I guess because the web of thumb, the hand right there, gets a little bit further past it, it's just not an issue anymore. Very soft shooting gun, honestly. I thought it was pretty snappy the first couple hundred rounds I shot it. I was like, wow, I just feel snappy as crap for a 9mm. Which is funny because the 226 is one of the softest shooting 9mm to me, but aside from the Beretta. But anyway, I took it out today, finished up, got about a 500 rounds through just now. And honestly, I don't even notice the recoil anymore. In fact, at one point, I had my eyes on the target, and I would just sit there and, you know, have my grip locked in after I got it and look to the side and shoot and watch, and it's just like I couldn't even see the muzzle flip. So awesome. I'm really digging it. Although I do notice that because of where trigger placement on your trigger finger depends on the gun and the shooter's hand. There's not just one size fits all on that. But I found that because short reach trigger, not short reach, the gray gun's trigger is pushed back a little because it has a pre-travel eliminator. Between that and the E2 grip moving my hand closer, I think I was getting initially too much finger on the trigger, and a lot of my rounds were shooting left. In fact, these were the first rounds I fired today, and I was, actually they weren't the first rounds. It was only on the single action this was happening. That was actually my first round. But on single action, I was shooting way left. And I was like, well, okay, I just need to figure this out, because it wasn't happening on double action. Don't mind these. These were actually the first magazine out of my Gersan, the first magazine I fired out of the Gersan MC-P228. But I was just wanted to warm up. This was cold. It's pretty good. I think 7 yards cold, double action for, you know, put a bullseye right where I aimed. But yeah, it was kind of funny as today I was shooting, and most of the rounds I fired were initially double action, because that's how I like to warm up. But also when I went to fire single action, I was shooting a couple inches left, or several inches left in some cases. And I'm like, well, but then I was like, well, I need to figure this out, since it's essentially a new gun now. Got it figured out, and eventually, I mean, really quickly, I was able to get it centered back up. So I just know that just how I got to pull the trigger with the way it's set up. The trigger, yes, I know you're not supposed to dry fire SIGs, but the trigger now is just incredibly smooth. I did polish the action of the trigger bar and the inside of the ejector. If you watch Steve Jenkins' videos on the SIG action job, yeah, it was the same way. What he described was how this one was. It's like, I don't know why they did some of that, but polished some things up. The outside of the trigger bar, the sides of the hammer, the inside of the ejector, a couple other little small places, polished it up. Really didn't get past any. I went up to 2,000 grit sandpaper. That's it. And man, it smoothed it out. That 19-pound hammer spring and the fat strut really smooths out the double action. This is the reset with the gray guns. I mean, it's... let me try to do that so it's... I mean, it's hardly... again, I don't really even notice it, because I'm usually, when I fire the gun cycles, I'm already resetting so, and prepping on the wall. But I do really like this gun. It's Glock 19 sized, I guess you could say. I did carry a Glock 19 for several years. It's not, it's just, you know, it's funny. I do like it because it does feel good in the hand too. I don't really, and this extra, the E2 grip has more texture than these pebble grips. That might be part of why it feels like it's shooting softer, because it's just gripping, my hand is gripping it better. But yeah, these guns are great. Highly recommend them. My next hope is to get a 229 and 357. I love 357. I just don't have one right now. Love to get one because just different reasons. I've got 9mm and 45 have let me down on stopping things around the property and whatnot recently, so I want something that will also be good for smaller animals that'll dump energy faster. But what do I think of this? And the 224/Legion slide stop, I wasn't a fan of it initially. Thought it was a great idea until I tried it on a friend's gun, but his was a 229 and 40, and because of the extra pressure of the stronger recoil spring, it was extremely hard to get to light off, or to release. This one, it's really not, because it's a 9mm. I was able to quickly, reload, no big deal. Yeah, this is, at least in warmer months or warmer times like it is now, it's December 30th, I think 29th, and it's 60 something degrees out, even though we were in negatives last week. But all in all, I'm very happy with this gun. It's probably, going to be my warmer month carry gun now. It's just been flawless. 500 rounds, I haven't had one single hiccup with it. It, for the most part, if I do what I'm supposed to do, it puts the bullets where I need to put them. Not anything to complain about. And, you know, I don't necessarily think that, you know, it does have a rail. Do I think that's necessary? That's debatable. A lot of people say nowadays you need to have a light on your gun. I don't say need. It's a good idea, but I don't feel undergunned with it because I'm going to have a flashlight anyway. So anyway, that's probably going to conclude it for this video. If I get maybe when I get to 1,000 on that gun, I'll post a video update on it. I'll probably have moved on by then, but knowing me, but we'll see. So, until next time, I'll be back.